You show strength and courage. You are the queen.
England is a land of women and children in our army's absence. Someone must defend them.
You dare to defy me? I am king!
Men and women of England, I promise you, I would never stop fighting.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for talking to me. Well, of course, I've seen the four first episodes of season 2, but everyone who watched this interview won't have seen it. So I'd like to start by saying more or less where Lina is in season 2, what's going on with her. Spoilers free, of course.
Spoilers free. Okay. Well, Lina's kind of come full circle. In the first season, you really see that her and Catherine are trying to find their way through court and being, the others in a sense, in this new country with a new way of life. And this season, we start to see more of the other side of Lina. We start to see her home life and kind of like the behind the scenes of how Lina operates, which is you start to see that she's a lot more torn about many things that happen in court and in relation to Catherine and in relation to her life and her family's life. So you kind of get more of a multifaceted view of Lina's life, which I think is great.
Yeah, it's interesting you said torn. I was going to ask you that for me, she's a character that's in between things all the time. She's between Catherine Oviedo, she's between the Muslim faith and the Catholic faith, and she wants to keep her roots, but she also wants to belong. So how is it for you as an actress to navigate all these different elements of her story?
To be honest, a lot of things that Lina goes through, I personally go through as well. It's being a child of the diaspora, whereby you don't really know sort of where to place yourself. And for me, it came from a place of truth, because at times it is very difficult to know where you fit in while wanting to fit in, but also trying to stay true to yourself. So at times, it was kind of a reflection of what I and a lot of people that I know go through. So I really hope that through the characterization of Lina this time and in the first season as well, that you really get a sense of how difficult it is to just want to be recognized and want to be happy and find a sense of peace within unrest and in a place that isn't necessarily your home, So it was really interesting to play, and it was definitely a challenge at times, but it was also quite eye-opening, because it wasn't until I did the show that I realized, there's a lot of parallels between us, as me as Stephanie and Lina as Lina. So
yeah, because contrary to some of the cast members, you didn't have much historical material to draw from. So I was wondering, what did you use to, what kind of things did you do to get to her? So did you also do this inside sort of a search there to get to her?
I mean, I think, it always helps if you start from yourself, if you see the similarities and the differences within yourself as you as a person and your character. And you're right, there really is nothing written about her at all. Only like one line in a history book or something like that. And so what I did is I think research, when you're doing especially a period piece or anything really, I think it's knowledge is power in this sense. So I did a lot of research of the time, of the era that she would have been in, and then put herself in that as a woman, and then a woman of color. Also, there are so many things written about Henry VIII. So, so I knew the context of where the kind of place that she would be living in. The other thing I did is, Matthew and Emma are incredible with their script. So I took facets from the script. So for example, in season 1, the script says that she says that her parents were Morisco. And so I went and I found out what that meant, and then tried to figure out how that then would relate to me and relate to Lina, and that fight for identity. So a lot of it came from the script, a lot of it came from historical evidence and things like that. And a lot of it actually came from imagination. What would it be like if, you know? So I think that was the great thing about playing Lina, because it really allowed me to explore my imagination and really just, you know, the little faces, because one of the things I love doing is her little faces, the kind of inside faces, but you know, those kind of things help to sort of shape and mold her into the person that she is, because she really doesn't have that much, not nearly enough information as the other characters in the show. So yeah, a combination of 3.
And I've read some interviews in which you mentioned that you felt like you wanted to be an actress when you saw a friend that looked like you acting theater. And now you're in a really interesting position as a Black actress in a period drama about British royals, which is very rare. And so I was just curious, how does it feel to be on the other side, where you are now perhaps inspiring women who look like you?
Wow. You know, it's something I'm very passionate about. And, you know, I've always said that I want to walk in this industry with integrity. So I think to be on the other side of that now is truly a blessing. I'm so grateful to, you know, I have people that write to me. I'm terrible at social media and things like that, but I have people who write to me, and the people around me that say, you know, they're so inspired by what I've done. And it just shows that your dreams are valid. I always say that your dreams are valid. And if you keep persevering, because I mean, with my career, a lot of the odds were kind of stacked against me. You know, I come from a council estate. You know, my parents are, you know, both immigrants, and acting was not something that, it's not the safe route. You know, I could go and I could become a teacher, which my mum wanted me to become. And I could get my money and pay my bills. But, you know, when you have that dream of what you want to do, it's so important to follow it. And I just really hope that I inspire, even if it's one person, I hope that I continue to inspire people, because I'm inspired by the people around me, and I'm just very grateful to be doing what I love.
And we just had the Emmy Award.
You got me already. This is the first interview.
Gotta start well.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We just had the Emmy Awards, and there was a record number of Black actors and actresses, including 3 Black women. Do you think this is a good sign? Do you see change happening?
I'm the eternal optimist. So I think that, you know, there's more recognition, and there's more light is being shone on, you know, Black actors of color, you know. And I think, you know, things are, even though the change is slow, change is happening. And going back to the previous point of, you know, being inspired, seeing these incredible actors who look like me succeeding only gives me more drive to persevere and to continue to push on and to do what I love, you know. So yes, the tide is changing. I think it's about time. More stories are being told, and I find it all very exciting, and it makes me look forward to the future, and know that my place within the industry is, you know, valid, and, you know, there's a space for me, and there's a space for everyone, you know.